All right, Warchant.com here with tight end coach Chris Thomsen. Chris, what's been talk about the excitement level you guys have going into the spring. I mean, is it much more, detailed now what you have? You know what you have as far as going into the season?
Yeah, I mean, you got 2 years at a place now. You understand your own players, they understand you, and just going into this third spring, there's a lot of guys that understand what we want, both in the schematic aspect of things, but also just the program expectations. So really excited about that part, and excited about the guys that fit that mold, the older players, but also the younger guys that are really trying to make their mark. This spring will be a fun spring.
You had Cameron McDonald, he played a lot. Have a few other guys that played a lot. I mean, does that help you now, this kind of see kind of where they fit as far as into your future?
It does. I mean, whenever you have players that you have experience with, you know what their strengths are. That's the biggest thing. You also know what their limitations are. So when you're trying to game plan around those guys, you know what they do well. And that's always a challenge when you come into a new program where you don't know players as well. And so we do have a lot of those guys that we understand what they are and what they do well. And then there's some guys we're still learning about that you get those guys a lot of live reps in the spring, and it helps you understand what they bring to the table and how they help the team.
Right. Talk about those veterans a little bit. I mean, how are they? What are you kind of looking for a little more from them this year? What kind of things have you kind of evolved with their game?
The biggest thing that you challenge older players with is just when you first introduce a system, especially to a young player, it's the assignment aspect, the technique aspect of what they do. As they start to really get comfortable with assignment about what they're supposed to do, then it's more about how you do it. The details of the position, the hand placement, where are my eyes in a certain route? How do I? Some of the older players now, like Cam, for example, learn more about what the quarterback is looking at, so it helps you in your route, in terms of your progression and things that you're doing. So once they really understand what they do, getting a bigger picture feel for what the other guys around them are doing, what is the tackle doing on a certain blocking scheme that I'm involved with him more, they start to understand all those little things better. And newer players, they're just trying to understand the basics, so everybody's at a different level. The other thing with older players is leadership. Now that you have a good feel for what you do, can you help other people be better around you? So
right.
That's the nice thing about having guys that played, is you see that leadership. You see guys, Wyatt, Cam, Preston, guys that have been in it more. Those guys, now your leadership starts to elevate.
And then you have some young guys. I know you're excited about Jackson West, Marquiston Douglas.
Yeah.
What have you seen from those guys? I guess, and even just in the tour of duty, what have jumped out to you?
The biggest thing is just their work ethic. I mean, like I said, we've got older guys that have done a great job in the leadership of showing up, and this is how you work. This is how you go through the work every day. So they've really, they've taken to that. They've shown their own ability to lead themselves in the workouts, and that's what you're looking for. Do they respond to the leadership of the older players? Are they leading themselves? And I can say every guy in my position, I've been extremely pleased with, proud of, in terms of their approach this winter. January, February, they've done a great job of pushing themselves and improving their abilities.
Yeah. Coach Norvell has made it really clear how important the tight end position is to this offense. What's kind of your what you guys want? How do you want to use the tight end in this offense now? I mean, is it kind of evolving to what you guys want?
Yeah, it is. I mean, the variation in the abilities of our guys. I mean, they've all got different strengths and things that they do well. So that's the biggest thing, is just plugging those things in and into the system, and and then those guys that fit around them, the receivers, the linemen. What do you? How does it all fit together? That's what's great about spring ball, is you get to see how it's all going to play out and how it's all going to fit together.
Right, and then you got lastly, you got two young kids coming in. I think Brian Courtney, who's a really dynamic, just weapon, just speed wise, and then also Jarrell Scholars from Texas coming in. Talk talk about those guys a little bit because Brian's kind of a guy that just jumped out to everybody, but I mean he is one of the most explosive guys I've seen.
Yeah, Brian's here. He came in January, so he's already here with us, and he's, the first thing about him is just work ethic. Like he works. I mean, he's not going to let people outwork him every day, but he also does have explosive. He's explosive movements. He's a twitchy guy, and he shows that in the workouts. And so. But he's learning the position. There's a lot of little things he's learning as he goes, but he's taking to it well. It'll be exciting to see how he does out on the grass and how he translates the things that that are his strengths to the position. And then Jarrell hasn't gotten here yet. He'll be here in June, but excited. He's a different type guy. He's a longer guy, 6'4" guy, but also brings a lot of great movements. We're excited about getting him here as well.
Did you guys kind of focus on, hey, I want to get more really receiver type guys?
Just more athletic. Just in this class, making sure we got guys that are athletic that can do different things. And what you always want those guys to do too is bring a lot to special teams. Special teams is Coach Norvell puts a huge emphasis on it, and those guys that can run and play in space like that, they can help in teams as well. And both those guys, will bring a lot to the team with their athletic ability, not just at tight end, but other things that they do.
Perfect. Thanks, Coach.